Hello, operator. Can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show.
Good evening, friends. This is your host to welcome you through the creaking door into the Inner Sanctum. Come on in. One prankish little fellow, whom we shall call Maniac, for lack of a stronger word, just set fire to the walls. He said a closed room made him feel confined. As a result, 4 other characters are slightly burned up now.
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, Corpse for Halloween, was written by John Robert and stars Larry Haynes in the role of Jimmy with Barry Kroger as Kavanaugh.
And now, let's unhinge our minds a little. After all, what's a little insanity among friends? Tonight's story dramatizes the fanatical hold of memory. The one scene, the one fragment that plays and replays over and over again in your mind. The one terror that's with you when you dine and when you walk and when you sleep.
Sleep. Who can sleep? I'm here in the 35-cent flop, but I'm in the Burma jungle. Watching a scene that never gets stale, even though it's 5 years old. I can hear sounds travel across the brush. I pick them up as if I'm a receiving set. Animal sounds. And I see, as if my eyes are in the sky, I see 2 grim figures standing with their rifles aimed at a pair of jungle beasts. A tiger and its mate in a crouch, ready to jump. They fire point blank together as if by signal. No good. They miss. The beasts roar and leap. I hear them scream out, Kavanaugh and Oxygola. Just before they die. 5 years. And you've been everywhere trying to forget. And you almost do forget. But it edges right back into your mind by itself. Like when a guy suddenly sneaks up on you in the night.
Do you have a match?
What?
Do you have a match?
Oh, yeah, sure. You popped up on me so suddenly.
You're a nervous man. Thank you. I have a parcel with me. For you.
For me? What, are you kidding?
No. I have a parcel for you. Here, take it.
Wait a minute. Hey, wait! But he's gone. Just the way he came. As if he's a chip off my sanity. As if there'd been nobody. But there is a package left with me. The mind doesn't dream up a package. A cardboard box, heavy kind of. And tissue, lots of tissue around something that had the feel of a head. It is a head. The stuffed head of a jungle tiger. Its mouth fixed in the snarl that sends the blood hammering to my head. Doesn't make sense. No good figuring it out. Toss it into the river, box and all, and get away. Get among people. Yeah, Rocco's. Go to Rocco's. Get the jukebox going and slip into a fog. Coffee, Rocco.
Jimmy, I got something for you.
For me, Rocco?
A package. A guy come in before and leaves a package for you. See? For Jimmy Fox. Your name on it.
My name? My name's Jimmy Scott. You know that.
Scott, yes, but the man says your name is also Jimmy Fox. He says he knows.
He knows? I took the package outside into the night, into an alleyway. Another cardboard box, heavy. And tissue, lots of tissue around something that had the feel of a head. It was a head, but not a tiger's this time. It was a human skull. It shone with a hard white light where the moon touched it. And then it seemed to speak.
You have a match?
What?
You're being an idiot. It isn't the skull talking to you, it's me.
You? Where are you?
I'm behind you.
I don't see you.
It's because you're afraid to. See me now?
Yeah. A black suit and a face grinning at me like a laughing mask.
It is a laughing mask.
Well, why are you wearing a mask?
Why not? Tonight's Halloween.
Halloween? Sure. Halloween. Not everybody plays jokes. Oh, gosh, I should have remembered it was Halloween.
Can you identify the skull?
Look, what kind of a gag are you trying to...
Suppose I give you an hour to identify the skull. It's 8 now. Until 9 o'clock then, Jimmy.
Wait. Hey, wait. He was gone again. As if there'd been nobody. Just another big chip off my sanity. I really had to get away from myself now. I hit the back streets, and then somewhere a big neon sign across a tenement pulled me off the sidewalk. It read, the Tillery Street Boys Neighborhood Association. Halloween costume ball. Public invited. A girl in a booth, masked like a witch, stopped me at the door.
Mask, mister?
Mask. Oh, sure. Give me one.
Black, green, yellow, or purple? What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Here you are. 50 cents.
There you are.
Oh,
Oh, what?
just a description left with me. I'd almost forgotten. Are you Jimmy Fox?
Suppose I was Jimmy Fox. What about it?
This grocery bag was left here for you. A man told me to tell you. You forgot it somewhere. And he said that he'd meet you one place or another later. Here, take it. By the shape of it, I'd say you had a Halloween pumpkin inside.
What if I told you there was a human skull inside that grocery bag? He'd meet me one place or another. He did. He was under a street lamp, waiting for me to happen along.
Hello, Jimmy. Have you dared to call the skull by name yet? Or must I?
Look, that gag isn't paying off, mister. All right, go ahead, you call it by name.
Dolan. Boxer Dolan, remember him?
I never knew the guy. You no doubt got me confused.
Have I, Jimmy? You've changed your appearance cleverly, except for one thing disguise could never conceal.
One thing?
Your guilt. You wear it like a badge of shame.
Oh, what am I guilty of?
Murder. 2 men left an encampment in the Burma jungle just before dawn. 2 men. Boxer Dolan and Kavanaugh. The 3rd man remained behind. He played sick, pretended to fever. The 3rd man was you, Jimmy. Must I tell you the rest?
Tell me the rest.
Dolan and Kavanaugh carried rifles in the event of a jungle encounter. There was a jungle encounter, a tiger and its mate. An emergency, but an easy one to resolve for 2 expert hunters. Just 1 shot apiece, and there'd be 2 more dead tigers. Just 1 shot apiece. They had their 1 shot apiece. But the tigers didn't drop dead in their tracks. Instead, Boxer Dolan and Kavanaugh dropped. Ask me what happened, Jimmy.
What happened?
During the night, someone had emptied their rifle loads and substituted blank bullets. You did that, Jimmy. You engineered the murder of 2 men. You murdered your 2 partners in crime. Just 1 day's push from the Hindu temple you'd all teamed up to loot. They got within 24 hours of treasure, and then you murdered them. 1 more day to the temple, so why split 3 ways, huh?
You know about the temple. But I never pushed on to that temple. No loot, no nothing. How about that?
You lost your nerve. You just hadn't counted on losing your nerve.
What are you, a detective?
No. I'm your second victim. I'm Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh? But Kavanaugh was killed.
Unfortunately for you, he wasn't. I'll show you what I had to survive. Feel my sleeve. Feel it.
It's empty.
Torn out of the socket. Now the face behind this laughing gargoyle I wear. See the left profile. Oh, it isn't pretty, is it? The eye's gone, too. I spent 5 years finding you, Jimmy. I've waited a long time to let you see my face.
You came after me to kill me?
After you've had the same 24 hours you arranged the Dolan and I would have.
What do you mean, the same 24 hours?
Unarmed, in the jungle, and helpless. I'm gonna hunt you for 24 hours. In this jungle, the jungle of the city, with every beast of prey I can buy. I'm gonna hunt you, Jimmy. And in the end, when I've wrung every suffering from you, I'm going to kill you.
What do you mean? Every beast of prey you can buy.
The denizens of the city jungle, the riffraff, the murderers, the men and women who buy and sell murder. I can afford them, Jimmy. See this, Ruby?
Is it real?
And I have dozens, Jimmy, dozens. I didn't lose my nerve. It's 10 o'clock. You can go now. Go and see if you can escape me and my pack.
You're going through with this?
Get along, Jimmy. Hurry. The beasts will be coming at you from the sewers and the cellars, ambushing you from the shadows, into the dawn and through the day for 24 hours, until 10 tomorrow night. Or you win. You live. Hurry, Jimmy. See how painful death can be.
That Kavanaugh's one fella I never want to hunt me up. No, sir. That guy slays for creeps. 24 hours. Kavanaugh's got 24 hours to kill, and Jimmy has just enough time to die. Yes, you know, Jimmy might win out over Kavanaugh, now that he's got an extra skull to go with the one he's stuck with. After all, 2 heads are better than one. Let's live out the terror now, shall we?
An animal game of murder for 24 hours. I was to be hunted down in a jungle where human beasts came at you from the sewers and cellars, where killers in the hire of a homicidal lunatic lay in ambush. Well, I had to win. I had to save myself. I had to. Hide. The thing to do was to hide, fade into an alleyway and find a cellar and stay put for 24 hours. Just stay put. With the sickening reek of garbage cans until 10 tomorrow night. Was I alone? Movement. There was a whispering movement somewhere in the cellar. A faint rattle of ash cans, as if the wind was rattling them. Wind in an airtight cellar. Hello? Anybody there? No answer. I've been imagining. But then something winged at me, goring into my shoulder, sharp and deadly, like a knife. I came to, bleeding from a shoulder gash. I got out of there and back into the streets, into a jungle of faces. It was Halloween night like I'd never seen it. Masks and costumes on kids of 6 and old crones of 60. A crazy jungle of witches and snarling sea captains and lunatics. They couldn't all be in the hire of Kavanaugh. And then, where a fence was plastered with circus posters of jungle animals, A zany-looking guy was shooting from the hip at the poster while making menacing faces like a bad man. I caught a whiff of powder in the night air. The shot had burned into the poster. I crept up behind him. Faking a gun with my fist in my coat pocket, I rammed against his back. Get him up, pal. Reach.
I got nothing to understand this.
Your gun. I want your gun. Hand it over.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Now walk. Walk up the block and don't turn back to look. I had a gun now, and the tables were turned. I was the hunter now. I drifted to the docks and took up a position with my back to the river.
Thinking of suicide, Jimmy?
Not anymore, Cavanaugh.
You sound as if your morale had suddenly improved.
My morale's going great, Cavanaugh. Your animal hunt's about to boomerang, blow right up in your face like this. Who's hunting who, Cavanaugh? Who's hunting who? Cavanaugh kept standing up. 3 bullets, point blank, enough to blow his head off, but Cavanaugh kept standing up unharmed.
How does it feel to hunt game with blank cartridges like Boxer Dolan and I did once?
Blank cartridges? But that crazy-looking guy, I saw him burn a hole in the circus poster.
Only 1 bullet. The first one was real. Simple?
Yeah, simple. I get it. Dead-Eye Dick was another one of your beasts.
Who's hunting who, Jimmy? Who's hunting who?
Cavanaugh! Cavanaugh, wait! Cavanaugh, kill me! Get it over with and kill me now, will you? Cavanaugh, you gotta kill me! I had to get out of there. The subway. Get the subway. Fade into the subway. Get on a train and ride to the end of the line. Ride out of the jungle. An empty station. No one in it. No someone. 2 people. A dapper little guy buried behind a newspaper. And an old lady in ragged clothes carrying a pet half hidden under a coat. A pet that looked like a cat. She came up to me, close, like to ask me something.
This side goes to Lefferts Avenue Station?
Lefferts, I don't know. I'm a stranger here.
Oh, hush, Genevieve. Oh, Genevieve is hungry.
That's not a cat.
No, son. A cub. A tiger cub.
A tiger cub?
Would you like to stroke Genevieve?
No.
Don't run away, son. Genevieve won't hurt.
I ran away with the old crone after me, hobbling on her skirts. And the little dapper guy behind the newspaper circling at me from the opposite direction, cornering me. I jumped to the tracks, my only out, and I ran. I ran deep into the bowels of the subway, deep, very deep. With the little dapper guy after me, as if he meant business. And then the train. It had a Halloween look, too, bearing down on me. An iron face with banjo eyes. I ran against the wall and flattened out. The train flashed past, and the dapper little guy screamed. Cavanaugh was shy, one beast in this jungle. The little guy had been hit glancingly and hurled against the subway wall, pulverized. I got to him quickly and frisked him. I had a gun now. A gun with bullets that killed. I ran a half-mile underground to another station, and then back on the streets. Back in the animal game. It was 3 a.m. A neon sign read Tillery Street Boys Neighborhood Association. Halloween costume party. People were straggling out. The fun was over.
Oh.
What?
You remember me?
No.
I'm the witch who gave you a free mask and a grocery bag that you forgot somewhere. And you're Jimmy Fox.
Jimmy Scott. I used to be Jimmy Fox. Sister, are you all right?
Am I all right?
I mean, are you just what you look? A sweet kid with brown eyes and a heart.
Are you drunk?
No, beat. I'm dead beat. I've got to hole up somewhere, get some shut-eye. I've got to or I'll die.
You're sick?
Yeah, I'm sick. If I could just sleep around the clock until 10 tomorrow night. If an angel came along and said, come home with me, I'll put you up.
Come home with me, Jimmy. I'll put you up.
on the sofa with the gun under my pillow and the girl on a chair watching me anxiously. I had a friend. I could drop off and live in dreamland until 10 that night. At 10, I could wake up and live. Coming awake, I heard the alarm we'd set go off. The alarm stopped. And there was a sound. An animal sound. And then a claw scratching at me, tearing at my cheek. And I jumped up. The girl was gone. A guy was sitting watching me now. A skinny kid with a heavy shock of hair, not a day over 21.
Oh, that's a lousy way to have to wake up from a sleep, pal.
Lousy way. There was an animal clawing at me. My cheek's bleeding.
Genevieve, she isn't housebroken. Still a little wild. You should have seen her dash for the kitchen when you let out a scream just now.
Genevieve. Who are you?
You're Jimmy Fox, huh?
Yeah.
I got something for you.
For me?
Yeah, it was given to me to give to you. Here.
A ruby. Hey, wait a minute, look. It's 10 o'clock. I set the alarm for 10, and it's 10.
Well, it's only a quarter of. That clock's always 15 minutes ahead.
Now the game's over. It's 10, and you can't cheat. I've won, Kavanaugh. You can't go back on your promise, Kavanaugh. You can't.
What are you trying to get over, pal? I don't
I've
understand.
won. You can't cheat. I won't betray.
A gun. Pal, you're crazy. Here, wait, look. Oh! You're crazy.
It's 10, and I won't betray Kavanaugh. I've won. I'm still on the sofa. My arms are rigid, and my legs rigid. Like something exploded inside me and paralyzed my nerves. I can just look and hear. She's in the room now. The girl with her sweet face and brown eyes. Only her eyes are red, swollen from crying. I hear her talking to a cop. He's taking down what she said.
He was a stray. He was like a sick dog in the street. So I picked him up and brought him home.
Yes, why did he kill your brother, Buddy?
I don't know. I was taking a shower, and I heard him scream like a crazy man. I heard him talk all mixed up. But I was taking a shower, and I couldn't get here in time.
There must be something you can tell me, miss.
Oh, officer, everything is all mixed up. At the Tillery Street costume ball, a man gave me a cat with tiger stripes, and he begged me to keep it for him for a while until he found a new home for it. He'd been evicted, he said.
Yes.
Well, then, in the all-night restaurant my brother works in, a man gave Buddy a ruby to give to Jimmy Fox. When he woke up, he told my brother the ruby belonged to Jimmy Fox.
This piece of glass?
Yes.
That's something off the Woolworth time counter. What else?
That's all. Really, that's all.
I watch and I hear. I see through Kavanaugh's trick. Get me crazy, so I'll murder a stranger who called himself Buddy. The brother of a girl with brown eyes and a heart. Frame me, so I'll just want to die. Through weeks of a murder trial and months in the death house and 4 minutes in the death chair. I kept listening to them talk. The girl and the cop.
Okay. We'll have to get the rest from Jimmy Fox there. Yeah, look at him. He's paralyzed with fright. I wonder what kind of a crazy Halloween story he's going to try to palm off on us when we get him talking. Captain Devereaux speaking. McAvoy, send a police ambulance to 445 10th Street, apartment 3 rear. And McAvoy, see that a straitjacket's on that ambulance.
Well, quite a chase. It got so poor Jim didn't know whether he was coming or going. Nuts. What got his goat most was the way he kept seeing animals everywhere. Very confusing to a guy on the lam. Yeah, it got so he couldn't tell who's zoo. Tomorrow? Oh, sure. I read this Halloween notice on a tree somewhere. Never hunt out of reason. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Inner Sanctum was heard in the United States over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, and has been rebroadcast for servicemen and women overseas.
We interrupt this radio broadcast for a special announcement. Flash. Earlier today, it was reported that an unidentified flying object landed in a field in Bergen County, New Jersey. For those of you whose radio is equipped with a television transmitter, please report to your viewing screen for a live report from the crash site. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America. This is Waddle the Duck from Channel Watch Waddle. At the site in the Grover Cleveland Pumpkin Patch, where just a few minutes ago, a UFO came crashing down through this fence behind me and right smack into the middle of that barn. Opinion here states that so far we're under the impression that this was possibly just a test drone from a local company that crashed here by accident, or it is possibly visited here from somewhere beyond New Jersey. Either which way, we've been here for a while, and so far, it has been completely inanimate. Possibly safe. However, we will stay here on this site until further information is given to us. Thanks. Back to you. Thank you, Waddle. We now return you to your regularly scheduled Halloween Holidays broadcast. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watch Waddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the man of mystery who strikes terror in the very souls of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Friends, there's no longer any need for you to rely on guesswork when it comes to buying fuel. Now you can get the best fuel for home use, and know it at a glance, too. For Blue Coal, the finest of Pennsylvania hard coal, is colored a harmless blue at the mines for your protection, so that you can identify it instantly. To be sure that the fuel you buy is the safe, healthy, economical fuel, get America's finest anthracite. Ask for Blue Coal by name. Order your supply tomorrow.
Arthur, don't,
7,
please.
8, 9. This is the hour, my dear.
I can't stand it, I tell you. Always at 9 o'clock it comes. But if I hear that horrible thing again, I'll go crazy. Oh, this awful house.
But it's quiet, my dear. Way out in the country like this, I can install my laboratory here as soon as I get around to it. As for these strange sounds, well, haunted houses have always fascinated me. I've always wanted to meet a ghost. Shake hands with him. Invite him to tea.
Stop talking like that. It's serious. Oh, I've tried to stand it for your sake, Arthur, but I don't know how much longer. My heart isn't strong, and I... Hear it?
But that's only the wind, isn't it?
No. It always starts like that. You know it does.
Don't move. Listen.
Arthur, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
A ghost, eh? Well, we'll see. I'll meet him this time. I'll meet him halfway, too.
Stop! Stop!
Come. We'll both meet him. Give me your hand.
No!
Carolyn. Carolyn, it stopped. Can't you hear me? Goodness me. Has the shock killed her? No, her heart still beats. She's only fainted again. Just passed out here.
Turn the next corner, Lamont. It's that big house set on the hill.
May I ask, Margot, the reason for this late call on Carolyn Sneed?
Well, I'd like to know what's the matter with the poor woman. I got an awful shock when I saw her in town last week. She looks positively haggard. I never saw such a change come over a person.
Married life may not agree with her. She was a spinster for close to 40 years, wasn't she?
I know, but I think she was foolish. Carolyn has nearly $1 million in her own name. She didn't have to marry.
Yes, but right now I'm not the shadow. Remember, I'm just your patient chauffeur, darling. Lamont Cranston, in need of a rest from my famous mystery man role. That last adventure took a lot out of me, you know. Well, a marriage problem is hardly as...
Seriously, though. Nobody knows anything about this man she married. He came into town 6 months ago, met Carolyn in some accidental manner at the county fair, and proceeded to rush her off her feet. I've met him only once, but I don't like his looks.
Something sinister, I gather. Hence the shadow idea. Well, who is he anyway?
Professor Arthur Sneed, I believe he calls himself. He has a small office in town where he's supposed to be working on inventions or something. Well, here we are.
Usually pretty level-headed, Margot, but don't let your aversion for this man we're seeing be too apparent. Dreary place, isn't it?
I don't see any bell. I guess you're supposed to use the knocker. Here he comes.
Well, who is... Oh, it's you, Miss Lane.
Yes. Good evening, Professor Sneed. I hope we aren't too late.
Too late? Too late for what?
Why, I phoned Carolyn that we'd drop in just to say hello.
Well, she didn't tell me. Carolyn isn't feeling well at the moment. I'm sorry. Good night.
Oh, but please, I only want to see her for a moment. That is, unless it's something really serious.
Well, it isn't as serious as she pretends to think it is, but, well, come in.
Thank you. This is my friend Lamont Cranston.
Come in. I'm very happy to see Mr. Cranston. I've heard a lot about him.
How do you do?
You say Carolyn is ill? She didn't mention it when I...
It came on suddenly. She's been in a nervous condition lately, but it's mostly imaginary. I made her go to bed.
Well, would it be all right if I saw her?
I suppose so. Go on up if you like.
Well, thanks. I'll only be a few minutes, Lamont.
What seems to be the trouble with your wife? Professor Sneed?
Oh, she's run down, I guess. Frightfully nervous. She has some absurd notion that this place is, haunted.
Haunted?
It's only the wind, of course, and the creaking of an old house. Ghosts. She keeps talking about ghosts. And I can't persuade her that there are no such things.
Of course, old houses have a habit of getting themselves haunted, Professor. As for myself, I'm not so sure there aren't such things as ghosts.
But surely, Mr. Cranston...
Oh, not the conventional sort, perhaps, but... I mean people's spirits. Souls, whatever you want to call them. Haunting the places where they've been unhappy.
Very interesting, I'm sure. But a lot of tosh. I put no stock in it.
No? I'm just noticing that rather rare book on the table, Professor. Neuroses of Death.
What?
If you're interested in that, I'm sure you must be interested in ghosts. I understand its morbid analysis of the factors of violent death are quite interesting.
What do you know about it?
Oh, I read all sorts of things, Professor.
Professor Sneed.
Oh, yes, Miss Lane?
Carolyn wants her sedative.
Oh, yes. I'll go up and give it to her. Did you find her comfortable, Miss Lane?
Well, I think Carolyn is seriously ill.
Yes, but more nerves than anything. Excuse me just a moment, won't you?
Lamont, there's something wrong here. I was afraid there was. I don't know what it is, but it's something terrible.
What's the matter with Carolyn?
Well, she hardly recognized me, and she talks like one in a trance, as though she were in the grip of some deadly fear. When I suggested sending the doctor over, she shook her head, but I'm going to just the same. I can't help feeling it's that man, her husband.
Yes, he isn't very pleasant, is he? His skin has an odd pallor. You see it on men who've spent some time in prison. There are many little traits of his behavior that interest me as a psychologist. A remarkable man.
But you don't know...
I don't know. But I think we'll investigate this more or less formally, Margot. I'll visit the professor tomorrow at his office in town. If there are ghosts involved here, perhaps the shadow can bring them to light.
Hello? Yes, Carolyn. Well, don't worry, my dear. I'll leave the office here at 5, and I'll be home before 6. Yes, I understand. Goodbye, dear. Well, who is it? Is that you, Miss White? Who's opening that door?
Don't get up, Professor. I'll close it after me.
What?
I thought I might find you in.
Who said that? Who are you?
Your conscience speaking, Professor. Or have you a conscience?
I'll show you what I've got.
Don't excite yourself. I'm only a voice. A voice they call... Professor, have you ever heard of the shadow?
The shadow?
Yes. You seem to have heard of me.
What do you want?
I've come to warn you, Sneed.
Warn me? Warn me about what?
I know what you're doing.
What?
And I know how it's going to end. The end is death.
Death?
I have something here I'll toss in your lap. There. Do you hear it?
Why, you... Get out of here, I tell you.
See it? Look. It's half of a playing card. The ace of spades. When you find the other half, that will be the end.
Get out and leave me alone.
All right, Sneed, I'll go, but don't forget. The shadow knows.
Trying to frighten me with his tricks. Oh, coming back, are you? Oh, it's you, Miss White?
There are two gentlemen here to see you, Professor Sneed.
Two gentlemen? Well, I'm not expecting...
I guess you may remember us, Professor Sneed.
Spike.
Your old friends, Spike Collins and Mr. Wilson here.
Yes, of course. Please take those circulars on your desk, Miss White, and mail them at the post office right away.
Yes, sir.
Lock that door, right?
Okay.
And what are you staring at, Sneed? We ain't ghosts.
I thought you two were doing a stretch at Leavenworth.
Yeah, we were. But we framed a getaway.
And now we come to see an old pal.
Well, now listen, Spike. I'd help you if I could.
Nuts. We've been watching you, and we know your game. We ain't got no time to stall. This old dame you married has got plenty of...
I don't know what you're driving at.
Well, you'll know if we squawk about that dame you married out in Idaho that croaked without anybody knowing what was the matter with her.
Cards on the table, Sneed. Has this one signed our money over to you?
Yes. She fixed her will in my favor.
Well, what are you doing to get it?
Well, she has a weak heart and...
I know. Playing ghost and scaring her to death, eh? Well, that's too slow, Sneed. I got a better scheme. We break into the house, stage a burglary, see? In a scuffle, the old dame gets shot, dead. It's quick.
No, you can't do that.
No, you'll see.
Spike Collins. Spike Collins. Wake up. Spike Collins.
What? Who's that?
Just a voice, Collins. The voice of your own thoughts, coming to warn you. No one but you can hear me. Your friend Sneed is going to double-cross you tonight. Sneed is going to double-cross you. It's your move. Be there to prevent him. Be there in time. 6 o'clock. Be there.
The Shadow will return in just a few moments. While we're waiting, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about the ever-increasing popularity of Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite. Blue Coal is winning new friends every day among New England housewives. They not only like the superior heat of Blue Coal, but they find that it simplifies housekeeping. This is because Blue Coal is so clean. It burns completely and does not send any particles of unburned carbon through the house to be deposited on furniture or woodwork. The drudgery of daily cleaning is reduced to a minimum with this clean fuel. Blue Coal is the largest single brand of solid fuel prepared especially for home use. Each car is laboratory tested at the mines for purity and size before shipment. Blue Coal is Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. So that you can personally identify this excellent fuel, it is actually colored blue at the mines. Order it by name. You will find the name of your nearest Blue Coal dealer listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Are you comfortable in that chair, Carolyn?
Yes, thank you, Margot, dear. And I do appreciate your coming out here and staying with me.
I'm glad to do it. But it's 6 o'clock. Your husband ought to be coming home pretty soon, shouldn't he?
He phoned just before you got here and said he was starting. He seemed very agitated. Oh, he's a strange, unaccountable man sometimes. There are things about him I don't seem to understand.
Yes, I know, dear. He has the car, I suppose?
Yes, he's driving. He's probably on his way now.
I've got to think of something. I know. We leave town.
You're driving rather recklessly, Sneed.
You again.
I'm going to haunt you. Try to forget that I'm here in the rear seat. if it annoys you. No, don't look under the seat.
If I could only see you, get my hands on you, I'd show you how much it annoys me. Shut up.
I'm the voice of your conscience, Sneed. Perhaps you have a conscience. After all,
I could choke that voice down your throat without any trouble to my conscience.
if you only had the power of second sight, you could see me. That's an invaluable gift, Sneed, being able to see things that other men can't. Some people call it mental telepathy, some by other names. Remember, I can see the pictures you make in your mind. I told you about that.
You can warn all you like. That's not evidence, not in court. A lot of wild guesses that don't mean anything.
Well, doesn't it frighten you a little, Sneed? I simply will you not to see me, and you don't. Careful. There's a truck coming down the road. Better sound your horn.
Good Lord, the fool's taking up the whole road.
It's going to hit you. Look out.
It's gone. There wasn't any truck there.
No. I willed you to see it. And you saw it.
No truck at all. Just hypnotism. Gosh, I'm having hallucinations.
But that's the way to dispel hallucinations. Drive straight through them. Be careful. We're near your house. And this old mill road is tricky.
What about it?
Look, Sneed. There's a man in the road ahead of you.
There is, eh? Really?
Why, it looks like one of your two pals that called on you today. I knew he would be here, Sneed.
Really?
You're going to hit him if you don't watch out.
More of your hallucinations. You think that I'll believe you again, don't you? Well, I won't.
Look out!
I hit him.
This time, it was no hallucination, Sneed. He was in front of you.
Morning, papers! Morning, papers! It's convict Spike Cullen found dead last night on the old mill road. Spike Cullen, wanted by the police, found dead.
Here, son. I'll take one. Here you are, sir.
What's it all about, Lamont? Found dead on Old Mill Road. But that's out of the Sneed's place.
Yes, I believe it is. Notorious criminal struck by automobile and killed. He was certainly struck by an automobile.
I wonder if Sneed knew anything about it. He acted very strange when he got home last night.
Strange? What way?
Well, he was pale and shaky, and he hardly seemed to know I was there. He told Carolyn that he'd had a message from out of town, and they'd have to pack and leave.
Oh, did he say when?
Well, they thought they could get their trunks and things ready by this afternoon sometime. You're not going to let Carolyn go with him, Lamont?
Not if I can help it. Let's see. A little after 9. I imagine Commissioner Weston is rather startled by the morning's news. I think I'll have a word with Commissioner Weston.
Commissioner Weston, they're sending Collins' body into the morgue.
You went out there this morning and checked all details, Captain?
Yes, sir, I did. And whoever hit him certainly smashed him up good. His face was all out of shape and couldn't recognize him. But we found these in his pocket.
Now, let's see. Letter from his girl out west, looks like. Insurance policy. Library card of Leavenworth Penitentiary.
And this ring, sir, that Collins always wore, with the figure 8 on it.
Oh, yes. Well, it's a good job done, whoever did it. Tag that stuff and file it.
Yes, sir.
Let me know when the wagon gets here.
Yes, sir.
Police Department, Commissioner Weston speaking.
Good morning, Commissioner.
is your good friend, the Shadow.
Oh, yeah? Well, what the blazes do you want?
To be of a little assistance, as usual.
Yes, I see. I'm getting tired of this rigmarole, though heaven knows things happen when you phone. And what's the assistance today?
Why didn't you investigate the ghost that haunts Sneed House, Commissioner, on the Old Mill Road?
Well, you missed up on that one, Mr. Shadow. I don't put much stock in ghosts, but we went out there and checked up. Searched the house. There's no evidence.
No. Go again today, Commissioner. And this time, I think you'll get your evidence.
Is that the last drunk, Arthur?
Yes. The expressman won't be here until 4. Another hour yet. Why don't you go up and lie down a while, Caroline,
Yes, I will. Try to sleep a little now that it's daylight.
You told the milkman we wanted to pay him.
He's coming back before we leave.
Good. Well, that must be him now at the back door. Get back. Get back.
What's the matter, Sneed? Think you're seeing a ghost?
Stop. Don't come near me.
Nuts. Snap out of it, will you? This is me, Spike Collins.
You? Alive?
It wasn't me you hit with your car last night on that back road. Well, I guess you wish it had been, huh?
Who was it then?
It was Rat Wilson. Fool got half pickled trying to get up his nerve for the job. Staggered out on the road before I could stop him, and wham! It was all over.
Wilson, eh?
So there was my chance, see? Him and me about the same size, his face and hands all smashed flat. I put my stuff in his pockets, my ring and what was left of his finger. There I was, dead. And all that time you was giving me the double cross. And maybe I am a ghost, but I can still deal with you, Sneed.
Who is it, Arthur?
Just a minute, Carolyn. Now listen, Spike. There's only one way to see this thing through. You and I have got to stick together. The Shadow is after us both. We've got to get out together, away from this Shadow.
Don't kid me anymore about the Shadow. You see this cat? I'm here on business and I'm going through with it. Put the old lady out of her misery.
Good Lord.
What's the matter?
There. On the table.
Nothing but a torn playing card. The ace of spades, or half of it.
You've got to stop it, Spike. You've got to stop.
Arthur, what's the matter? Who's this man?
Carolyn, this is a friend of mine.
A friend?
Sure, a friend.
But I don't understand. The pistol,
Yeah, that's my way of doing business, lady. Your husband does it different. He's been scaring you to death, ain't he? Making you think the place was haunted. You know how he always does it?
Stop it, Spike.
He used to be an electrician, see? He rigs up a sort of electric sound box with a remote control switch. He usually puts the switch over here by the door. Yeah, here it is.
What's it all about, Arthur?
The ace of spades. The end. Death.
When he turns the switch, you hear the ghost dance. All you have to do is turn this knob. That's the way it works, lady.
But I hear it. Arthur, I hear it.
Turn that thing off, you idiot. What? I haven't turned it on. You haven't. Then what's making those sounds?
I am.
What's that? It's him. He's come. A shadow.
I am coming up these cellar stairs. I will enter and stand beside you.
Where is he?
Stand back or I'll shoot.
When I enter, I will touch one of you on the shoulder.
Stop him! Stop him!
And that one will die.
It's the cops. Come here, Steve. It's a plant. You called in the cops.
No, don't shoot, Spike.
The jig is up.
You can have the bullet I was going to give your wife, you double-crossing skunk.
Oh, you killed him.
Come on, here we are. Go through that side room, boys. Okay. Stick 'em up.
I got him. Now stand still or I'll break your arm.
Now, hand over that gat.
All right. I'm through. You win.
Spike Collins.
Spike
Collins?
I thought he was...
I thought you... Say, what is this? Who was that guy that got killed over here last night? Come clean, Collins.
Whoever it was, I didn't do it.
Who's that? Where are you?
Don't be alarmed. I am here behind you, in the shadow.
Oh. So you're here, Shadow, eh? Maybe you know who got killed here last night.
The man killed last night, Commissioner, is a ghost.
Oh, yeah?
There are now 2 ghosts in this little adventure. Mr. Collins will probably make the 3rd. You really should believe in ghosts now, Commissioner. And in shadows.
And now, before today's adventure with the Shadow comes to a close, John Barclay, Blue Coal's own heating expert, is here to give us another of his practical talks on automatic heating. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Good evening, friends. In former Sunday night talks of mine, I've shown you the importance of having the temperature of the home properly controlled with a Blue Coal automatic heat regulator. That is, in terms of health and convenience. Now, tonight, I'm going to give a third important reason for automatic heating: economy. Most authorities will tell you that the proper degree of heat in the home is 70 degrees. Naturally, you can't by hand keep your fire from giving off more than 70 degrees of heat, but the Blue Coal automatic heat regulator can and does. But here's how that saves you actual fuel dollars. Heating engineers have discovered that for every degree you raise the temperature above the desired 70 degrees, your fuel goes up in cost 1.5%. So you see, friends, by automatically shutting off that heat, that extra, wasteful, unhealthy heat regulator automatically saves on fuel costs. Why not investigate this Blue Coal heat regulator further? Ask your local Blue Coal dealer to give you a demonstration. The cost is only $18.95 plus a small charge for installation. You'll find it well worth every cent of that and more. Moreover, if you have any heating problems, discuss these also with your Blue Coal dealer. He is the best informed heating authority in your community, and assisted by his John Barclay trained serviceman, can, I'm sure, help you save money and have a more comfortable home this winter. This service is free. It costs you nothing. Thank you.
The Shadow adventure you have just heard is copyrighted by the Shadow magazine. The characters in this story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Extra! Extra! Hear all about it! Next week, same time, same station. The Shadow's latest adventure. Extra! Extra!
announcer Arthur Whiteside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt once again for an update on the earlier report. Once again, here is Waddle at the scene of the incident. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Waddle here, still at the scene of the Grover Cleveland pumpkin patch, when just a few minutes ago, noises started coming from inside the craft. This is a very fascinating thing, ladies and gentlemen. A crowd started gathering around here, and we're all trying to figure out what this thing is and what's going on with it. And, hold on, everyone. So, something's going on. There's noises coming from inside, and it's getting louder. The crowds are starting to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most fascinating thing I've ever witnessed. The top of this thing is beginning to rotate like a screw. Yeah, it's definitely hollow inside, and something's coming. Something's coming out. There's a tentacle. We see a tentacle over there. There's a tentacle.
What is that thing?
Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have lost contact with Waddle. Please stay tuned to your regularly scheduled Halloween Holidays radio show offering, and we will have this problem fixed momentarily. Thank you very much. Hello again, Mr. and Mrs. America. Waddle the Duck here, right on the outskirts of the Grover Cleveland pumpkin patch, when earlier I had witnessed what I could only describe as a close encounter of the third kind. The entire pumpkin patch has been evacuated, and we are all awaiting for the National Guard to enter and update us on the events happening inside. In the meantime, one could only imagine what the being in there is doing right now. Everybody run!
Dark destiny. The lives of some are doomed from the beginning. There are souls born beneath dark stars who must travel by strange and terrible roads to meet their destiny. This is the tale of one of these. The story we've called Masquerade.
Isn't this the most fantastic party?
Well, fantastic's as good a word as any for it.
A Halloween party in a haunted house. Gives me shivers just to think about it.
Well, then, why think about it? Powder your nose and let's go see if we can pry our husbands away from Jerry Mason's bar.
Oh, Jane, you're so hard-boiled. You're never impressed by anything.
A mob of people dressed up in silly costumes, busily drinking someone else's liquor leaves me cold, darling.
Well, it doesn't mean. I think it's fun. Suppose this house Jerry found really is haunted.
Well, there are plenty of spirits around tonight, but they're all in bottles. Take it from little Jamie.
Just the same, it is spooky, and it makes me feel a little frightened. Doesn't it you, Helen? What? Oh, what'd you say, Sally? I said, aren't you just a little bit frightened by this old house?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
For God's sake, Helen, you look as if you had the heebie-jeebies. You're as pale as if you've seen a real ghost, instead of that silly-looking Butler Judson dressed up in a suit.
Well, I wish Jerry never thought of this party. It's what, Helen? Nothing. I'm being silly. Let's go out and have fun. I didn't make this witch's costume to sit around in.
I second the motion. Why waste time now, Helen? Especially since your husband will be here any minute.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Except that I certainly couldn't have any fun if all my husband did was stand around watching me out of cold, fishy eyes, the way Carl watches you.
Now, stop it, Jane. There's a party going on, remember? So let's go back to it.
Hey, what took you girls so long? Come on, Jerry's going to make a speech.
All right.
What do we got to lose? Yes, let's.
Come on, then. Let's wait for the speech, everybody. Organist, music, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean fellow witches, wizards, vampires, werewolves, and whatever other unholy creatures we may have with us tonight. Now, the meeting will please come to order. I will now state the purpose of our gathering. Tonight is All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Now, wait a minute. On Halloween, ghosts, witches, and uneasy spirits of all kinds are privileged to walk abroad. Vampires and werewolves may hold high holidays. The restless dead may step back from the great beyond and mingle with the living for a night.
Isn't Jerry a freak?
He sure is. Quiet now. We, the living, have long been remiss in our hospitality to the unfortunate spooks, whose only amusement is to go around on Halloween saying boo at people. So tonight, by way of making amends, we all invite all ghosts, vampires, poltergeists, or other invisible spirits to join us. Accordingly, I, as host, extend the full hospitality of Haunted Hall to all such otherworld inhabitants who may be in the neighborhood and wish to drop in. If any such are about, make yourselves at home.
What's the matter, Helen?
I felt so cold just then. What time is it? Carl ought to have finished with his business meeting and be here by now.
It's not quite 10. He'll get here on time.
When midnight strikes, we'll have a little seance. And then, if we have any ghostly guests with us tonight, we'll make them show themselves to us. But now let's have music. To suit the mood of the evening, all music has to come from the organ, which stood in the attic here for 40 years. And gave out ghostly chords whenever there was to be a death in the family. Organist, you ghostly chords, please. Come on, Jane, let's have it.
The organ music, imagine.
Helen, are you all right? You're shivering.
Yes, I'm all right, Sally. It's a little cold.
Okay, then, but take it easy. Well, I gotta go find my darling Scott. I'll see you later. Here.
Helen.
Jerry, I didn't see you.
Don't look so guilty. People will suspect something.
I'm sorry, Jerry.
Come on, we'll dance. And we can duck and talk someplace.
Jerry.
Don't talk now. Somebody might overhear you. Dance over toward the hall and then slip into the library. We can have some privacy there before Carl comes. Oh, darling, I've been waiting 2 weeks for a chance to be alone with you again.
Jerry, I've been waiting, too.
I know. After tonight, we'll never have to wait again. Here's the hall. Come on now, the library door's on this side. I don't think a soul saw us. Get inside so I can shut the door. There. See if you can find the light switch.
Well, here it is.
Good. No one's apt to interrupt us here in such a few minutes. Carl phoned only 15 minutes ago that he's on his way. At the terrific rate he drives, he'll be here before we know it. He only knew how often I've prayed that he'd drive off the road some night and break his neck.
Oh, Jerry. Jerry.
Oh, darling.
Hold me in your arms, Jerry. Hold me tight. I'm frightened.
Frightened? Because of Carl?
Yes, I don't know if I can go through with it.
But we have to. There isn't any other way.
Couldn't we just go away together?
Darling, my business is here, my work. Now, we have to go through with our plans just as we made them.
But maybe if Carl would let me divorce him.
Oh, never. You know that. He'd die first. So that's exactly what he has to do. Die.
Oh, there must be some way.
But there isn't. Oh, darling, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing, understand?
To commit murder.
Don't think of it like that. We're just getting rid of someone who's made your life miserable. Someone who stands between us and all our happiness. Now, listen.
Yes, sir.
This party tonight, this silly Halloween masquerade, I planned it carefully to make it easy and safe to get Carl out of the way.
Easy and safe? How?
There are 24 people wandering around this old house in silly costumes, wearing masks. Nobody can be sure who anybody else really is unless they actually speak to him.
I don't see how
Now, the point is, nobody will ever be able to testify or even be sure in his own mind where anybody else is at any given moment tonight. And this house, I picked it for the party, not because fools say it's haunted, But because down in the woods, back of the gardens, there's an old rock quarry.
Rock quarry?
Mm-hmm. This house was closed several years ago after the last owner fell into the quarry one night when he was drunk. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Carl tonight. He's going to fall into that quarry while drunk.
Oh, Jerry, no.
Oh, it's so easy a child could manage it. Everyone knows that Carl drinks heavily at every party he goes to. Now, look, you find some way to get him out of the house after he arrives. You'll lead him down the path through the woods toward the quarry. And I'll see to it that he goes over the edge.
I couldn't. Oh, I couldn't.
You can and you will. You love me, don't you?
Yes, Jerry, but murder
He
is...
suspects us already. You know that he's so jealous of you, he'd kill both of us if he could prove what he suspects.
But just the same, I can't. Oh, I can't. I'll do anything you say, Jerry.
Get control of yourself, Helen. We only have another few minutes to make our plan.
No, Jerry, no. I know we planned this. I know we both decided to do it, but now I can't. I love you, Jerry. Oh, I do love you, but this... I didn't know how it would be, and I'm afraid...
Sorry I had to be so rough, but this is no time for hysterics. We've got to go through with it tonight. When Carl arrives... what?
Carl.
How did you get here so quickly, Carl?
You invited me, so I came as quickly as I could. Yet you seem confused that I'm here.
What? Oh, no, I am just surprised that you made such good time getting out here from town. You only called me 15 minutes ago.
And my wife. Why should my wife seem so frightened at my arrival?
Why, well, I'm not, Carl. I'm just startled at your costume. Yes, it's your costume, that skeleton husk is pretty gruesome.
Gruesome? I think it's most appropriate. You come as a witch, Jerry comes as a devil, and I come as death.
Death?
What do you mean by that? Carl, what are you doing with that gun?
I put it into my pocket before I left the house.
You're drunk.
I was drunk when I started. I'm not drunk now.
Give me that gun. You don't know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing. I know everything now.
Carl, what are you going to do?
When I started, I intended to give this haunted house some new ghosts to haunt it. Real ones.
Jerry's going to kill us.
But now I'm only going to take you home with me, darling. You're my wife, and your place is at my side. Jerry tried to steal you as he stole the fortune that I placed in his trust. But I'm not going to let him. I'm going to take you back with me now, and you'll never leave me again.
Keep talking. Hold his attention. I'm going to grab the gun.
Please, listen to me, Carl. You don't understand what
It's you who do not understand. But you will, soon, understand everything.
Understand? Helen, get his gun.
I got it.
And find me something to tie him with, quickly. I didn't hit him hard enough to put him out for long. He'll come to in a moment.
Jerry, what is it? Why are you holding his hand like that?
Feel it.
Cold. There's no pulse. He's not breathing. Carl's not breathing.
Dead. Even though I didn't hit him very hard, he's dead. We've got to get rid of his body.
Go any further.
We've got to. It's only another 20 yards.
I can't see you. So dark.
We can't stop now. We're lucky to get him out of the French windows. Across the lawn without being seen. We can't risk somebody stumbling on us. The moon will be coming out again any second. What is it now?
Branch.
Never mind it. The edge of the quarry is just beyond the next turn. Move slowly now. Feel your way with your feet. Are you standing on rock now?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Good. You can put his feet down. Carefully now, not too much noise. There, it's done.
You killed him. We're murderers.
Stop saying that.
We are.
He was going to kill us, wasn't he? It was just self-defense. Be careful. Don't move around. The edge of the quarry is directly in front of us. Moon's coming out. There, you can see down into it.
So deep.
Deeper, the better. Now get out of my way. I can finish Mr. Carl Donnelly alone. So, up it comes. Under my shoulder. And now, over it goes. Well, it's all over. Except for the gun. Gotta get rid of that. If we found it, would look suspicious.
What do you do with it?
In the middle of the quarry, there's a deep pool. It's going into that. There. It's in the pool. I heard it splash. Now, all we have to do is join the party again and act natural. In a little while, we'll pretend to worry about Carl and start looking for him, but we won't find him. Not tonight.
That's natural. Oh, that's to do it. That's natural.
Stop it. Stop it, Jimmy. You're going to act just as natural as I am because your neck is at stake, too. Unless we give ourselves away, nothing on earth can ever prove we're guilty. Do you hear that? Absolutely nothing on earth. Helen, smile at me. Act like you're enjoying yourself. You've got to. Talk to me. The last 10 minutes you've been dancing like a wax dummy.
I keep seeing him falling into that quarry in the moonlight. Down, down, down.
Don't be a fool. That's over and done with. Now we have a new life ahead of us, you and I. Think of that, don't think of him.
I'm trying to, Jerry. I am trying to. But instead I keep hearing him say he's going to take me home. Keep me forever. And I feel as if his hands were still touching me. So cold. The way they were when he grabbed my wrist.
You've got to get your mind off it. Look, come on over and join the gang. But remember, act natural.
Jerry! Oh, Jerry, welcome, boy.
Thanks, Roger. Everybody having a good time?
Oh, it's just too spooky for words. Everybody says it's the most fantastic party they ever heard of, don't they, Jane?
You used that word once, darling.
Oh, you. What's the matter, Helen? Are you still cold?
No, Sally, I'm all right.
Oh, darling, you're as white as a sheet. Your hands are colder than a polar bear's nose.
Nothing's the matter with Helen. She's just cold. We were out looking for Carl. He seems to have wandered off somewhere.
Carl, huh? I didn't know he'd ever showed up.
Oh, yes, he came in about an hour ago.
He did? That's funny. We haven't seen a thing of him. I was looking for him, too.
Of course he came in. He's here somewhere.
All right, so he's here somewhere. What of it? Why fly off the handle just because I said I haven't seen him?
Well, because he is here. He's outside somewhere.
All right, then he'll show up soon enough when he gets thirsty again. And speaking of spirits, Jerry, it is almost midnight. Time for that seance you said we were going to be treated to.
Seance?
Oh, you said if there really were ghosts around this house, we'd have a seance and make them show themselves.
No.
I don't like the idea either. Let's just forget it and come on, dance some more.
No, we want a seance.
Oh, no.
We want to see a ghost.
Yeah, we want a seance. We want to see a ghost.
We want a seance. Want to see a ghost.
No, stop it, here.
What's eating you, Helen? You're about as much fun tonight as a corpse.
She acts as if she'd seen a ghost already.
Well, Helen's just worried about Carl. All right, I promise you a seance and we'll have one.
Good.
Now, look, first we have to turn down all the lights, then close all the doors and windows. Then everybody has to sit in a circle and hold hands while I invoke the spirit.
All right, we'll send everything. You get your charms ready. Come on, Janie, let's get going. Hey, everybody, we're going to have a seance.
Jerry, you mustn't do this.
I've got to, don't you see? I've got to act natural. I can't do anything that would arouse any suspicion.
But suppose you should really...
Helen, snap out of it. This is all just make-believe, just a game I'm playing to keep those silly fools quiet. No one can materialize ghosts. Look, all I'm going to do is mumble a few nonsensical words and then say it wouldn't work. Now, come on, everybody's waiting.
All right, Jerry. Lights down, doors closed, everybody in a circle, holding hands. Now, go ahead with the mumbo jump.
Sit here, Helen. Now, silence, please. Silence. No one must move or speak. The circle of clasped hands must not be broken. Is that understood? Then music, organist. Uneasy creatures of the night, the restless dead and all other creatures of the unseen world who may stir abroad only on this one night of the year, hear me and take heed. By Astaroth and Beelzebub and Lucifer, I command you. By Israfel and Belial and the dog god Horus, I command you. By Isis and Osiris and Pelbas the Terrible, I command you. If you are present tonight, knock 3 times that we may know. Knock 3 times that we may know.
You hear that? Oh, it's just somebody at the door. I'll open it, Jerry.
No, I'll do it. What? Oh, it's you, Judson.
I beg pardon for interrupting, sir, but supper's being served, and as everything is
thanks, Judson. We'll be in a moment.
Very good, sir.
I'm sorry, folks, the seance seems to be a washout, but anyway, you can all eat now.
You say eat, leave me to it. If any ghost wants me, you can have me paid.
Oh, Roger, come on, I'm sorry. Jerry, just a minute.
Yeah?
Helen looks all in. Maybe I better take her outside in the air for just a few minutes.
Thanks, Sally. Look, you go on in with the others. I'll look after Helen. Tell the rest we'll be in a minute.
Well, all right, Jerry, if you'd rather, but she does look awfully pale.
What's the matter with you, Helen? You trying to put both our necks in a noose?
Sorry, Jerry. I was afraid I was going to faint. I'll be all right if I can just have a little air.
Come on outside on the terrace. Here, we can go out through these French windows. Now, sit on the railing and pull yourself together. Remember, we've still got to go through the motions of hunting for Carl.
Jerry, I keep feeling his hands on my wrist. I keep feeling the touch of his hands and hearing him whisper in my ear that he's going to take me home and keep me with him forever. Jerry!
What is it?
That noise. What's that noise?
Noise? I don't hear any noise except the organ. It started dancing again.
There's somebody coming through the bushes.
Don't be silly. Everybody's inside.
There's someone coming up through the bushes from the woods.
It's just an animal of some kind.
It's not. The animal would be scared away by the noise and the lights. Jerry, there's a man coming from the woods. From the forest.
You're being hysterical. It's just an animal, I tell you. These woods are full of them.
Not, it's not. Look. Those footsteps.
They can't be.
They are. They are. Coming around the side of the house. Jerry, take me in. Take me in quick.
Come on, then. If it's a tramp or a vagrant...
Wait a minute, Jerry. Don't run away from me, Helen, my dear.
You?
You invited me, Jerry. I came as fast as I could. I hope I'm not too late for a dance with my wife.
How did you get here?
I just came. Come, dear. The music's playing. Just one dance, then I must take you home with me.
You're not dead.
Come, my dear. The music is playing. Just this one dance. Then we must go.
Don't touch me.
Surely you're not afraid of me, my own loving wife. Come, we'll dance, and then we'll go.
Jerry, do something. Don't let him touch me. Oh, you're choking me. Jerry.
I'm here and I found a rock big enough to fire. You dirty... Now you're dead. Now you're dead for good. I slipped up before, but not this time.
Jerry, he was trying to kill me. Choking me.
Somebody inside might hear you. You can't give way now. We've got to get rid of her.
I can't go through with that again. Jerry, his fingers in my throat. They're so cold.
You've got to face it. Obviously, he was only unconscious when we thought he was dead, and he was so thoroughly soaked with alcohol that the fall into the quarry didn't even hurt him. He must have recovered and climbed out somehow without knowing what had happened and came back. That's what happened. That's what must have happened. But he won't come back again.
I couldn't go through those woods. They're going now.
You don't have to. We'll be seen. Gotta think of something else. I have it. Where's Carl's car?
His car?
Yes, Carl's green roadster.
I don't know. I don't see it.
It should be over there, parked with all the others. He certainly came in it.
He isn't there.
Then we'll have to use my sedan. It's down there at the end of the terrace. Go on now. Open the rear door.
What are you going to do?
Let's see, quick. I can lift him all right, but I can't carry him very far. Hurry. Have you got it open yet?
Yes, Jerry.
Good. There. I'll get in the front seat. Do clothes, I tell you. We haven't any time to waste. Come on, get in.
But, Jerry,
It cost me the car, but it'll be worth it.
his hands on my neck. So cold. So cold.
Pete's sake, stop it. Well, do you think my nerves can stand you sniveling? Do you think I like this?
Don't
How did I say?
Sorry, Jerry. But with him in the seat behind us,
It won't be there long.
what are you going to do with him?
There's a blind curve up ahead a ways. A deep ravine alongside it. Half a dozen cars have gone in there in the last 10 years.
Yes, I remember.
I'm going to stop the car there. We're going to get out and pop him up behind the wheel. Then I'll start the car and send it over the edge. We'll tell the police we found him wandering around drunk and we took him for a drive to sober him up. But he insisted that we get out and let him drive, and he got so violent that we had to. And then he lost control of the car.
Will they believe you?
I don't know, but they won't be able to prove anything if they don't.
Aren't we there yet, Jerry? Aren't we almost there?
Almost. Just another mile.
I keep thinking that I hear him moving behind us. I keep thinking his hands are reaching for me. So cold.
I know. I'm not blaming you, but hold on to yourself. In another 5 minutes, we'll be forever rid of Carl Donnelly.
Did you call me then, Jerry?
Carl.
Carl.
Yes, Jerry. I heard you call me. You and Helen. So I came.
You're not alive still. You're not. You can't be.
My wife has fainted. You tend to her. I'll come up front with you and drive.
Stay where you are. You're dead, you hear? You're dead.
I'll drive, Jerry. Move over, please, so I can climb in behind the wheel.
No. No, you're dead.
That's right. Move over and make room for me.
Don't. Get back. Stay away from me.
Just a moment now, and I'll take the wheel.
No.
There. Now I'll do the driving. I know where I want to go, and you don't. I'm driving my wife home now, so we must go faster. And faster. And faster.
Stop it. Stop it, God. You'll kill us all.
But my wife, I must get her home. Faster.
Slow down. I'll do anything you want. I'll surrender to the police. I'll tell them I embezzled the money you gave me power of attorney over. I'll tell them anything if you'll only slow down.
I can't slow down. I'm taking my wife home now. Faster.
Look out. It's the blind curve. The ravine's on the other side of it. We'll never make it.
Faster. Faster.
Hello? Hello, Sergeant Myers? This is Johnson reporting. Yeah, again. It's been a busy night. It's a sedan this time. Went over the edge of Blind Curve a little while after midnight. The dashboard clock stops at 12:25. That's right. I found it 20 minutes ago. 2 people in it, a man and a woman. Yeah, both of them. Worst case I've seen yet. Car must have been doing 90 when it went over. And looked as if it had been driven over purposely, too. And say, Sarge, there's a couple of funny angles to the crash. I mean, peculiar. Sort of eerie. One is, they were both in costume. Like that other stiff we picked up earlier tonight. Uh-huh. A witch's costume and a devil's suit. But get this, Sarge. The sedan landed smack on top of that green roadster I reported before. You know, the one we hauled that other guy in a masquerade costume out of. The one in the skeleton suit that gave him such a turn at the morgue when we left him there around 10 o'clock. Yeah. The one we identified 3 hours ago as Carl Donnelly.
You have just listened to Chapter 8 of Dark Destiny, a series of dramas about those unfortunate ones among us whose lives are doomed from the beginning. who travel by strange and terrible roads to meet their destinies. Tonight's story, Masquerade, originated in the studios of Station WOR. Written by Robert Arthur and David Cogan, it was produced by Jack Johnstone. Featured on tonight's program were Carl Eastman as Jerry and Elspeth Eric as Helen. Next Saturday night at 8, you will hear a story.
You say Anne's been dead for months? But that's impossible. It couldn't be. It must be wrong. Because Anne and I were married yesterday.
What's that? A man with a phantom wife? Listen to the next chapter of Dark Destiny, a story titled Till Death Do Us Part. Rob Shepard speaking. This is Mutual.
Ladies and gentlemen, Waddle the Duck here, and I'm back at the Grover Cleveland Pumpkin Patch, and something is happening. The Martian war machines are heading back this way. We think it's trying to get back to its UFO, but something is wrong. It's almost as if... Its shields are down! Its shields are down! It was stark and silent, dead, slain by the putrefactive and disease bacteria against which its system was unprepared. Slain, after all of our devices failed, by the humblest thing God, in his wisdom, put upon this earth. You heard it here, folks. It got a cold. This is Waddle the Duck, signing off of the Watch Waddle Emergency Broadcast System, surviving yet another Halloween disaster. And that was our Jack-o'-lantern presentation. This is Waddle the Duck, ladies and gentlemen. Out of character, to inform you that this alien invasion broadcast has no further significance than the Halloween offering it was intended to be. By the evening of Mischief Night, we couldn't toilet paper all of your houses, or the eve of Goose Night, egg all of your voting signs. By tomorrow night, so we did the next best thing. We destroyed Channel Watchwaddle and invaded Channel Halloween Holidays. You'll be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it, and that both channels will continue to entertain with classic radio and animated cartoons. So good night, everyone, and remember for the next time, if your VCR is on the fritz, it may be a gremlin in your house, but it's no Martian. Happy Halloween!